People want to be around people that make them feel amazing. People want to be around people that help them to feel hopeful and positive and inspired and encouraged. And if you want to attract more of the right people to you so you can open up more of the best opportunities, then you must execute on this. You must live with this intention, literally in everything you do. You must show up in a way that gets everyone around you to feel amazing so that those people will want to be around you as often as possible so that they can become clients or teammates or friends or connections or people that want to introduce you to new opportunities or people, or they want to be a resource for you in one way, shape, or form. If you can show up in everything you do as the kind of person that makes everyone feel amazing, then you will become completely unstoppable on your mission and fulfilling your purpose in achieving your big dreams and goals. And by the way, if you become this kind of person that makes everyone around you feel amazing and those people come into your life, the idea here is that they also benefit in a big way. Number one, they're going to feel amazing. Literally, they'll just get the value of feeling uplifted and inspired and encouraged or energized or positive or hopeful because they're around you, which in itself is huge value. Secondly, they're going to be the kind of person that is trying to go after something big. They're the kind of person that wants to do something special with their life. They're the kind of person that's going somewhere because energy attracts like energy. And if you're the kind of person that believes you're going somewhere and you're doing something special and you're here to make a meaningful, big, important, positive difference and impact in the world, then you're going to attract those kinds of people into your life. And those are the kind of people that are going to get around you. So they're by virtue going to benefit from where you're going. Not just because they tag onto your coattails and they go with you, but because they're going to gain the value of creating a mindset and attitude and environment around them that propels them forward. So don't for 1 second think this message is simply about how do you convince people to want to help you get your goals. It's about attracting more of the right people to you so that you and they can all benefit, can all gain tremendous value from the relationship. And so there's 3 really specific things that you got to do. It's really simple, it's straightforward, but if you're not doing these 3 things, then you won't be the kind of person that makes everyone around you feel amazing. And that's the point of this message. So, number 1, you got to simply realize and believe that this is a thing. Now, hopefully by this point in this message, you're thoroughly convinced, but if you're not, think about it this way. Who do you want to be around? Who do you want to invest your time with? Or said differently, who do you absolutely not want to spend time with? Like, think about the people that you've ever been around, personally or professionally, who you're like, I wish I never had to be around this person again in my life. How did you feel when you were around this person? Literally, describe the emotions out loud or on paper, just in your head. Like, what were the emotions, the feelings you had when you were around that person that you're thinking of, who you're like, I never want to be around this person again if I don't have to be? How'd you feel? Did you feel frustrated, angry, depressed, negative, lacking hope, lacking optimism, believing that the future is going to be worse than the present reality that you're experiencing? Did they make you feel like you're less than? Did they make you feel like you're not worthy? Did they make you feel like your dreams are not possible? Those are the people you already know you do not want to be around those people. So let's go to the other side of this coin. Think of the people that in your life, personally or professionally, every time you're around this person, you think to yourself, gosh, I would love to be around this person as often as possible. I'd love to get in this person's presence again sometime soon. Think of those people. Now, why are you thinking of those people or that specific person? How do you feel when you're around that person? What are the emotions that you experience? Write them down or literally say them aloud or think about it right now. What are the emotions and feelings you experience when you're around that person that you say to yourself, I'd love to be around this person as often as possible? You probably feel energized and positive and hopeful and excited and optimistic and as if the future is going to be bigger, better, and brighter than your current reality. You probably feel like you are worthy. You probably feel like you can accomplish anything. You probably feel like you can be the fullest, greatest version of you. Now, as we look at these 2 things, what I've realized is life and relationships and success are very much about emotions, very much about feelings. Now, I listen to some really successful high-performance coaches who say, forget about your feelings, drop your feelings, and just do the stuff you know you need to do. And that's great, except it misses something. It misses the fact that humans are wired as emotional beings. We literally have emotions in everything. So my point is, why fight the emotions? Embrace and use and leverage the emotions. That's actually literally what I talk about in one of my chapters, chapter 5 in my book, Attract Your Potential. Chapter 5 in my book, Attract Your Potential, is leverage emotion, yours and others. And by the way, if you want to listen to the full version of my book, of the audiobook Attract Your Potential, you can find it on my podcast or on my YouTube channel. On the YouTube channel, it's one long video, about 5, almost 6 hours long. And on my podcast, it's chopped up into every single chapter. It's got the introduction, chapters 1 through 10, and then the conclusion. So you can find all of that completely free. You don't even have to opt in or give me an email. Just go listen to it on YouTube or my podcast. Again, completely free. If you enjoy listening to it, then I highly encourage you to go check out and get a paperback copy. I priced it as low as Amazon would let me price it over on Amazon. So just go to Amazon, find Attract Your Potential. As of this recording, it's listed at $6.65, so less than $7. And if you've got Amazon Prime, you clearly get free shipping. So for less than $7, you can get a paperback copy of my book. If you enjoyed the audiobook on my YouTube channel or on my podcast, go and get the physical copy. Because if you're watching the video version of this and you see my copy, I've got all kinds of tabs and underlines and just bookmarkings, and it's like coming apart. I've flipped through it so many times. So I highly encourage you to also get the physical paperback copy if you're enjoying the audiobook. Anyways, my point is, I've got that chapter in my book on leverage emotion because it is literally one of the most important things we can think about, is how do we leverage a thing that is already concrete reality for us as humans? Like, instead of saying ignore your emotions and just do the thing, I'd rather say leverage your emotions and squeeze as much value as possible out of the fact that this thing called emotions and feelings are human nature. And by the way, before I get into last steps quickly, 2 and 3, I will share with you, there's a great book called Social by Matthew Lieberman. And Matthew and his team of researchers, when they explored the power of human connection and emotion and how we're wired as social beings, which there's tons of great content and books and research on this exact topic. But basically what they found is, this is really fascinating actually. What they found is that if you experience physical pain, like you get hit in the arm or you get poked with a pen or something, you've experienced physical pain on your body, it triggers a certain part or activates a certain part of your brain. And when you are socially rejected, like you feel embarrassed or in one way, shape, or form rejected by another human being, the same parts of your brain activate through social rejection as when you are physically in pain. When you are physically hit or hurt or feel physical pain, the same part of your brain activates as when you are emotionally in pain. And what this tells us is that we are so intimately connected to other people that we literally are in pain. I mean, actually in pain when we are socially rejected. But think about the opposite. The other side of that coin is we feel intense physical pleasure when we're emotionally feeling pleasure by being around another human. And what I mean by that is, like, if you think you can feel the pain portion of your brain is activated when you feel physical pain, the same as when you're socially rejected, think about when you're socially accepted. Think about when someone tells you how amazing you are, how much they enjoy you or love you or appreciate you, or when you just feel that intense emotional connection with another human being, you feel lifted and positive and encouraged. Man, those parts of your brain activate. It's not just like, oh, it's a good feeling. Like, it is literally, you are wired to want those feelings. And so my point in all of this is, point number 1 is to realize that this is true. Believe it's true. Because if you believe it's true, you'll actually do it. If you don't believe something's true, it doesn't matter. I say it all the time. There's all kinds of theories out there. But the only theories that really matter are the ones that you believe are actually true and work. Because if you believe a theory is true, you will work at it. You will make the effort. Same thing with this exact same topic. Do you believe that other people feel a certain way when they're around you? And if you do, what are you going to do about it? You got to move to steps number 2 and number 3 is what you got to do about it. If you realize this is true and you believe this is true, let's move to step number 2, which is simply decide what emotions and feelings you want other people to experience when in your presence. What are the feelings you want people to have? So then let's go back to the example of like the people that you want to be around most. What are the feelings they make you feel? Or at the very least, influence you to feel? What are those feelings? Uplifted, excited, inspired, encouraged, energized, positive, hopeful, happy? What are they? Joyful, loved, grateful? What are those emotions? Now think about this. When someone interacts with you, like let's dream here. If someone interacts with you tomorrow or later today, what are the emotions you want that person to say they felt, or the feelings they say they felt after they leave you? Let's say you interact with someone and now they leave and they go and they talk to another person and they talk about the experience they just had with you. What do you want them to say they felt? Because consciously or unconsciously, everyone feels something when they interact with you. What are those feelings that you want someone to leave with after they're in your presence, after they interact with you or engage with you? Whether it's a simple in-passing hello or smile at the coffee shop, or you sit down for a 4-hour dinner meeting with someone, or anything and everything in between, what are the feelings you want someone to feel after they leave you, when they're with you, and then that they take with them beyond the interaction with you? And for me, as an example, like I want people to feel uplifted and encouraged and inspired and as if anything is possible. I want people to feel like they're unstoppable, that they're better than they were when they got to me, when they leave me. That after talking with me, they feel excited and energized and like they can just go and do anything with their lives, and that no one can stop them because they're on a mission to do something meaningful and purposeful with and in their life. That's what I want to give to people. And then once you decide what those feelings are that you want someone to experience, you got to move on to number 3. Step number 3 is show up with those emotions. Because back to the science of how we're wired as humans, we have these things called mirror neurons, which I also talk about in my book, but I won't get into in depth here. But basically, other people, this part's called emotional contagion. Like other people feel your feelings, but mirror neurons simply are this. What they found, without getting into all of the backstory, what they found is that when you do a simple act, like raise your hand or reach for a glass of water, or two very simple things, when you do a very simple, specific movement with your face or with your body, another person who observes that facial expression or that movement, that person's brain activates in the same exact places as if that person was actually doing the thing. So really quick story. I remember I was at a business meeting years ago, and there were 5 of us sitting around a table at a restaurant talking with a business owner, and the 4 other gentlemen that were there, so there were 4 plus me, the 4 gentlemen that were sitting there, they all had the same Coca-Cola bottle. And I just had a water because that's how I roll. I'm not a pop guy. And one of the individuals made a joke, and at the same exact time, everyone started laughing. And the position I was in, I could see everyone at the same exact time. Now, that probably makes sense, but like as I'm reflecting on it in my mind, I just distinctly remember seeing everyone literally in one glance, in one moment. And everyone starts laughing at the same exact time, which means they're in what we call rapport, or feeling of connectedness with one another. And as everyone's laughing, one of the individuals reached for that Coca-Cola bottle, for the pop bottle. And at the same moment, just instantly, almost simultaneously, every other individual at that table reached for his bottle too, and they all took a drink. And this is what happens when you're in rapport. Like the connectedness was so strong among those individuals that everyone literally did the same thing. But think about it this way. Mirror neurons act like this. Even if those other 4 individuals did not reach for their bottle, when that one individual reached for the bottle, as they observed him, their mirror neurons fired. Meaning, even if they didn't reach for the bottle, the same parts of their brain activated as if they were reaching for the bottle, which is kind of crazy to think about. It's a less intense, my understanding is it's just a less intense activation in the brain, but it is still an activation of that same part of the brain. That's mirror neurons. So my point in all of this is to say, if you want other people to feel the feelings that you want them to feel, then you got to show up with those feelings, because you literally will influence other people around you to feel those same feelings, because that's how we're wired. Do you get it? Are you following along? Does this make sense? Drop in the comments to me if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're on the podcast, find me on LinkedIn or YouTube, or Instagram, and please send me a message and let me know if this is resonating. Because here's the thing. Once you decide, okay, so you realize, number one, step one, you realize it and you believe it. Number two, you decide what emotions you want other people to feel. Number three, you show up with those emotions and you exude those in everything you do. Now, here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. You can't just choose it once. Because if you want to become the person that everyone you ever meet feels amazing when they're around you, like you want to be that go-to person where people are like, man, I always feel amazing around him. I always feel excited around her. I always feel jacked up and ready to rock and roll and like I can do anything when I'm around this person. Like if you want people to say that about you, then you got to show up consistently in everything you do. Am I perfect at this? Absolutely not. But is it my intention? Absolutely yes. My goal every day is wake up and be the very best version of myself, show up as my best with great energy and positivity and enthusiasm because I want to be infectious in that way for other people. And you've got to make this your mindset too. You don't have to be crazy high energy like I am, but you absolutely have to decide that if you want to be a person of positive influence and influence other people to feel a certain way around you, to feel amazing around you, then you've got to show up every day feeling amazing. And it's not fake. You've got to wire yourself, just like you go to the gym to strengthen your biceps or your chest muscles or your leg muscles or whatever it is that you work at the gym, or conditioning your body to go on long runs. Like you've got to condition your nervous system, your brain, and your body to show up with tremendous energy, enthusiasm, joy, positivity. You've got to wire yourself for the feelings you need to feel, that you want to feel, so you can influence those other people, every person that you interact with every single day. Now, friend, if you've enjoyed this message, please, please, please share it with someone who could also use this message so that that friend or colleague or teammate or family member can be reminded of this simple, basic, fundamental way to positively influence everyone they meet. Because this concept, this strategy absolutely can be a game changer. If you show up in this way in everything you do and you wire yourself to just live this way, it'll become a way of life, and you will literally be looked at as this kind of person, and everyone you meet will want to spend more time with you. And when more people are attracted to you, you will be the person that gets more amazing opportunities. You will have doors open for you before you even knock, and life will be absolutely amazing. You will totally change the trajectory of your life. If you don't love the trajectory of your life right now, today, this could be the game changer. So please share this message. Whether you're listening to the podcast, you're watching it on YouTube, share this message with someone who needs this simple reminder about how to show up with incredible energy and make everyone around them feel amazing. If you're on YouTube, comment below, tell me what you loved about this, or comment below and tell me what you'd like to hear more of about this, what questions you have, what other messages or videos you'd love to see me make right here on my YouTube channel. And if you're listening on the podcast, please hit that follow or subscribe. Come back for more. And I look forward to serving you even more value in the future. And friend, whatever you're going after, refuse to settle for anything less than your greatest potential. Refuse to quit when the going gets tough, when things are challenging. Just keep freaking going, and great things can happen for you, friend. Just keep going. I'll see you next time.